Hello fellow modelers and styling fanatics, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is doing fine and enjoys the hobby. Concrete Bunker is back with another one of its notorious episodes. Past George and I are working on to our Panzer Kpfw build from border models. Oh my god, I cannot pronounce that properly. Anyway, so in this episode, we have everything you will ever wanted. We decide our plans for the Panzer, we start building the Panzer, we give some general information about it, and of course, as always, I ridicule myself in front of the camera because I cannot properly fit some parts. So, you guys know the drill. Grab a seat, crack the mandatory cold one, and let's see what Past George and I have in store for you today. Hello guys, this is supposed to be part 1 of the Border Models Panzer Kpfw build, and this is the part that I actually reveal my plans, or reveal the challenge, I should say. So, over here, supposedly right now on the editing sequence of the video, I'm gonna add the photo. This is the photo that Mike, aka Cohen, sent me so I can recreate it. It is a photo taken from Nettuno, if I pronounce it correctly, on Italy, early 1944. It is a Panzer IV that and it is a Panzer IV with infantry that prepares itself, moves to the battlefield for the Battle of Anzio. So, after quite some research, I have found out that it is a Panzer IV, as I've said clearly, middle type, Ausf.H, has no Zimmerit coating, and has additional armor only in the turret. Now, I'm not sure that if I'm not sure, let me rephrase that. So, I am not sure if I am not gonna position the additional side skirts. We're gonna see, because since they are photo etched, it is a bummer to leave them off, but as I've said, we're gonna see. And I am not sure if I am going to follow the same camo scheme that it is depicted on this photo. Now, I'm gonna start building the Panzer, as always, as like every time, and we're gonna see how it will end up. My intention is once again to recreate this photo, if not exactly the same, as close as I can. This meaning that I'm gonna try to recreate the vehicle as close as I can, or as close as I want, because I may wanna depict another Panzer. Anyway, it doesn't matter to me. And about the scenery, I'm gonna try to replicate it as close as I can. Anyway, those are my intentions. Let me pause the video and start with part 1 of the instructions. So let's start with my usual step-by-step, quote-unquote step-by-step build. Okay, part 1 of the instructions states that we need to put the exhaust together. So exhaust comprises, anyway, I cannot remember the word. Exhaust is these 6 parts. Assembly. So let's immediately start putting this one together, because you guys have no time to wait. I have no time either. Anyway, let's move onwards relatively quickly, but yet be careful. I want you guys to know that I don't care a lot about the sim, because either way I'm gonna cover the exhaust system in a slight coat of Tamiya putty, just to depict corrosion, because that's the technique I use in my latest builds. That's what I'm gonna stick with now. Okay, I should hold it like this. The muffler should point downwards, and now I should grab this piece and install it over here. It is keyed, but I need to find the hole, of course. Oh, the instinctive click sound, I love it. Now as I build, I have to be careful where I am touching the thing, because I may leave a fingerprint on the crime scene, and leaving a fingerprint on a crime scene is always bad. Once again, this is also keyed, and there we have our main exhaust assembly. Now there are two brackets, these two. They are of course labeled with different numbers. J12 is this one that has these two ears protruding, and J11 is the other one with a one ear, if you can call this thing an ear. So J11, it is supposed to go here like this, and I forgot to clean it up properly. Give me a moment. I always tend to forget some stuff because I am eager to record. Anyway, luckily I am able to fix it. Now there is a groove inside here that helps you position this piece on this pipe, so this will make it easier for us, for everyone. So here we have it. Nope. And let's move on to the next one. Same thing, groove will help us position the thing properly. And here we have our exhaust, our muffler, our exhaust system. Now I am going to leave this aside, although instructions state that I should attach it on step number 3. Of course I'm gonna leave it aside because it's going to get its own extra treatment. I'm gonna paint it separately and do some weathering and stuff like that. So remember this part, guys, because you won't be able to see it for a while. Part 2 of the instruction, guys, and in front of us we have the brackets, I should say, anyway, the points that the idler wheel mounts onto the vehicle. I always choose the difficult parts to describe in English. Anyway, so let me put them together as I speak. All 4 parts are most of these parts are labeled with the same number. The only difference between those are these two, this one and the other one, of course. These two parts, they are labeled with different numbers because one is the left on the left side and the other one is on the right side, of course. Now let me start applying my glue. And I should warn you guys that this build is gonna process slowly. We're gonna do a total step by step because this kit is huge after all. Has a lot of parts, a lot of detail. I'm not in a hurry, so I am going to be a little bit slower than usual. You know, updates are going to be bigger, and in general maybe sometimes the progress will not be so visible. Anyway, now you have been warned. This is how we are going to proceed with this build. I am also going to try to maintain some consistency on my uploads on the channel, but I am not promising anything. I'm gonna try to do my best. So far my involvement with the border with a border kit looks solid. Kit has nice detail. Parts are crisp and not this way. Yep, this way and the other way, so I should apply glue over here. Almost made a mistake there, but I saved it. So what I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. I'm gonna see and talk about it on the next part. So now we have these two ready, left side, right side. I'm going to label them. Moving on to step number 3, and we have something of a, I'm gonna call it a mistake on the instructions, okay? So we're gonna see. I'm gonna tell you. So let me grab the instructions first. On the leaflet it says that for the rear armor plate you need to use CA number 4. As you can see, I have made the correction. Is the one that you are supposed to use is CB number 2. And how I find it out, it's not that I am a Panzer Pro. Luckily, inside the box was this correction sheet. It has corrections for several steps. So for step number 3 it says part 4, step number 3, you need to use to replace CA4 with CB2. That's how I found it out, guys. So I'm gonna point all the corrections out as I move forward, and luckily we won't mess anything up. So I have all the parts clean and ready to go, and I'm gonna install them with no particular order. I'm gonna install them as I grab them. So another thing to point out, this if I am able to grab it, This square thingy over here is for the middle type. If you want to depict the early type, you need to refer back to the instructions and choose the right part. The early type is a round thingy, a round cap, looks like a fuel cap, and I almost lose it. Oh, I am lucky. It is the third part, it escapes from my hand. I was lucky the first time because I was able to find it on top of my cat's fur. I am lucky that she sleeps on my feet while I while I do models. So over here, let's move onwards and install this small kind of tank. I have no clue what is this part for. So here we need to sandwich this part in between. No, we don't need to sandwich this part in between. Sorry guys, it goes over there like so, and then we have to attach that one. Oh, no, it's not like a fuel tank. It is like an exhaust system for something. I'm gonna do some further research and find out what's that for. Okay, looks like I've got it in place properly. Looks like okay. So that must be some type of an exhaust system or some type of heater. Although I have read a lot of stuff about Panzer yesterday, yesterday, particularly Panzer Force. They never explained in depth what this is. After all, why should they? Okay, and we have another thing that looks like a fuel cap over here. Let me attach it first and I'm gonna give you a closer look because it goes in a very specific way according to the instructions, at least. Yep. There we have it. Don't worry guys, if you see something crooked, I am doing minor adjustments of camera as I proceed. So now it is time for the sub-assemblies that we put it together in step number 2. It is time for us to use them. So BR is going this side and BL is going that side. but like this, and the other one like this. Yep, I'm double checking, and we should looks like we are golden. Sorry guys, give me a moment. Okay. So these parts have two knobs. They should fall in place over here in the two holes. Let me apply my glue and let's try to place them. Probably this is not gonna end well. Oh, worked like a charm. With the first go. Yep, I knocked it. I knew it. Let's attach the other one, and as I've said, I'm gonna do minor adjustments off camera. There is no need for you guys to see them. You have the general idea of where to position the parts. That's the point of this video, together with the fact that I like to create building vlogs. So normally according to the instructions, now it is time for us to attach the exhaust system over here, but as I've said, this is going to be painted separately, so I'm gonna leave this aside, and I'm gonna leave the rear armor plate aside as well, because that's what the instructions tell me to do. So guys, we've made it all the way up to part 4, but over here we have to do some stuff, to do some work onto the lower hull. So if you want to depict the middle type of the vehicle, the middle variant, you have to fill those two holes over here where my file is pointing, and you have to remove this one as well according to the instructions. Apart this side, you have also to remove those brackets over here in the front, and you have also to drill two holes, one over here and one over here. So I am going to do all that off camera, of course, and I'm going to be back for step number 5. So guys, we have removed everything that the instructions stated that we need to remove, mainly two holes over here and one little detail piece from over here. We have also removed over here at the front the two brackets for towing hooks, etc., and for the spare tracks holder, and we have also made two holes. Now we are up to step number 5. Step number 5 is separated in two parts, one part for early type and another part for middle type. I am aiming for the middle type, so that's what we are going to do. First things first, let's start with the bigger and easier the bigger part of the assembly, which is the front armor plate. I have already done drilled the holes, so it is simple as dropping the piece there. And now we have to attach the vision blocks. Anyway, if it is the early type, it has vision blocks. If it is the middle types, the vision blocks are closed, mainly for speed of manufacturing. That's what I've read. They stopped making the vision ports just to make the production of the vehicle faster. So one from this side and another one from the other side. Let me drop the piece in place and then I'm gonna add glue. And that's everything for step number 5. Well guys, unfortunately looks like I have forgotten to check the correction paper of the instructions provided into the box. So the correction paper states that let me grab a pointer. Apart the things that I have removed and reattached, I am talking about these two parts. I will also need to remove these 5 pieces from each side, 10 to total, and replace them with parts CA4 if I want to build the middle type. So since I want to build the middle type, I'm gonna remove them. Now I could leave them in their place, since the tank I am trying to depict is halfly submerged in mud, but my OCD won't let me do that. So I am going to remove all these parts and I'm gonna be back before I reattach the new ones. So wish me luck, guys. Well, as you guys can probably see, I have all the things here removed, and I have cleaned the new ones. I have them over here on the side, and now I am going to attach them as I go, to attach the proper ones for the middle stage, for the middle type. Now while I attach them, I would like to talk about this stage of the build. I usually don't complain a lot, but when I do, guys, I am complaining. So my complaint about this particular kit right now, it is that this process right now is a little bit stupid, if you ask me, and I am going to explain. Since we have the option to build either the middle or the early type, there should be nothing molded on the lower hull. There should be nothing like this. Since we have the parts for the middle type onto the sprue, we should have the parts for the early type also onto the sprue. There is no need for us for border to make us scrape the existing detail from the lower hull, mainly because it is a little bit tedious and also that if you're not careful enough, you're gonna be knocking some precious detail off the lower hull while you scrape parts off. Either way, they have made it to the length to add different. Either way, they give you the parts for the middle type vehicle. Why not give you the parts for the early type as well onto a sprue and leave the lower hull as a bathtub? And right now I am eyeballing the parts that I attach because there is no location points. There is no location points at all. I am eyeballing it and I hope that I am positioning them correctly. My only indicator about the location is to line up this hole with the existing hole onto the part, which is a little bit iffy if you ask me. So border model engineer guys, if you hear my complaints, please fix this. Please remove the existing parts from your hole. Replace them with location points, just for the guys that make the middle type the middle type variant of the Panzer. Let me bring the thing closer to my eyes, guys. Okay. Fuck. Cut. I think that this one is the one that's sitting higher from all the others, but the hole is lined up correctly, so I must be there. You see, I don't like this. I don't like not being sure about something. Anyway, it is what it is. We're not gonna be sure until we attach the moving gear. Surprise. And all this from a brand new, I'm gonna say. From a modern kit. Anyway, round over guys, I'm really sorry about that, but if you were in my position, you would be thinking of the same thing. Let me change to another set of tweezers because the ones I used, my curved ones, have some tummy extra thing on top. Okay, looks good. Oh, and if you haven't realized yet, guys, this is going to be one of those builds that I am filming everything. I don't know why, that's the decision I took for this build. Let's film the whole process. no matter how boring it is. And the last one. And of course, what the actual fuck? Oh, come on. I cannot see the hole, that's why I'm doing this, guys. I'm really sorry. And if I cannot see the hole, I am not sure if the part is correctly lined up. Which must be right now. Okay, now we have a middle type hole ready. Middle type hole. Okay, the basics. Okay, as I've said, I am back and we have quite a lot of plastic in front of us. I am currently on step number 6 of the instructions, but I am going to move backwards a bit. So let me grab the instructions and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. When I was in step number 2, I skipped this thing, the assembly lettered, sub-assembly lettered C, because this small hook, anyway, I'm gonna call it hook, this small hook was nowhere to be found on step number 3, 4 and 5, so I left it on purpose as it was. Until it finally arrived on step number 6. So on step number 6 we have the C assembly that probably attaches over here at part A68. So now it is the time for me to assemble it. So apart these two small parts over here I'm gonna show you exactly where. Let me reposition my camera. So as I've said, apart those two tiny little pieces that are over here, the rest of it is assembly number step number 6. So let me do the job. Let me assemble this thing first so I can let it dry. I'm gonna need both tweezers here and both hands. And my left hand is quite a rubbish hand. Rubbish. It is a dead hand. I have no skills on my left hand. So anyway, let's leave this aside until it dries and let's move forward. Now, the rest of the step number 6 is attachment of the rear hull, of the rear armor plate, the rear hull, sorry, and parts of the suspension system. I'm gonna start with parts of the suspension system. I'm gonna collect this pile in front of the camera. These old guys are bump stops. That's what they are called. They prevent the suspension arms from moving further than a specific point, and we have to attach one on each hole, here, 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 and over here, those two in the back. So I am going to attach them all in front of the camera, because as I've said, I took the decision to make this a full build in front of the camera for reasons, to be honest with you guys. There was no specific reason for me to do it. I just said, fuck it, let's go. And I have just lost one. I'm gonna find it. No. Oh, those parts are quite fiddly. Let me pause the video for a moment. Okay, we are back. And I have found the trick of how to attach those pieces. Apparently looks like I've lost one to the carpet monster for the time being, but I'm gonna give a thorough search later, and I am 99% sure that I'm gonna find it. If I don't, then I am going to scratch build another one. A new one, not another one. So I am going to line them up, oh my god, as best as I can. Alright. These things fly all around. Crap. Suddenly, a full build on camera doesn't sound like the best idea. Okay. We have almost all the bump stops. This one, I will need to visit the carpet monster to find it. So, as I've said, we have all the bump stops from one side. Let me attach the sprocket housing. So for middle type, the sprocket housing is BA5, labeled as BA5. The early one is labeled as G12 on the instructions. It has two knobs that they should correspond with these two holes like a glove, and it has wonderful texture on it, as you can see. If my yep, it focused. So we have the sprocket housing ready. Now I am going to attach over here at the back one towing hook. Alright. Isn't it fun when you ridicule yourself in front of the camera? Okay. Now we have to do the same stuff on the other side. And of course, I'm gonna do it on camera. And I'm gonna keep the best footage. because probably I'm gonna edit the rest of the thing off, because you guys probably won't need to see me do those stuff. Or you tell me what you prefer: seeing the whole process, however tedious or boring it may be, or seeing it in sections, like I do in my previous videos. I mean, oh boy, I am afraid to catch it right now. It may fly to Narnia, never to be seen again. Okay. 3 more to go, guys. Believe me, it looks far easier in the instructions. Doesn't mean it is. Two more. And I have no clue what I am recording, because I am trying to keep my attention on to the parts that I'm gluing, and I'm not looking them through the camera. The final one. This is going to fight back because it is the final. No. Okay. Good enough. I'm gonna, of course, fiddle with them further when I turn the camera off, so I can curse like a proper human being. I can curse them and use the F-bombs as I please. Another sprocket housing, and let's attach once again the towing hook over here at the rear. And now for the rear armor plate. So it is supposed to go like this. Oh my goodness, it clicked in place. Brilliant. Let's apply some extra thin here and there. And yes, I can see that I am knocking parts off with my fingers. stay there. Where this is supposed to go? No, this is supposed to go somewhere here, according to the instructions. But leave it until the very end. So we have this part now, which should go over here. Okay. And this is supposed, as I said, to go over here. Over here. Oh, like a glove. And finally, our part from step number 2 should clip here. But I'm not gonna attach this right now because this piece hasn't cured yet. And let me give you a better look of what we have accomplished on this stage. Almost. And stay there. Okay, we have the bump stops in place, like all except one that we probably sacrificed to the carpet monster. We have the rear armor plate almost in place. Almost in place, to be honest with you guys. And the sprocket housings. Now we're gonna move to step number 7. Now guys, we have made it all the way up to 7th step of the instructions, and I have it over here in front of you because I wanna talk about it a little bit. So this step is cannot remember the word, is sectioned into sub-steps. First sub-step, of course, is the assembly of the return rollers. So if we are making the early type, we go with this one. Since we are not making the early type, we scratch this one off. We don't care about it. So middle type has three options for return rollers. This one with BA3, this one with BA11, and this one with BA2. Since my vehicle, the vehicle I want to depict, is submerged in mud, and I cannot clearly see the return rollers, I have chosen which one of three I want through the level of detail they have on them. So the one that caught my eye is this one. It's the third one with BA2, and let me show you how it looks. It looks like this. I opted with this one because, as I've said, it has some detail and it's gonna catch the washes nicely, if it will be able to catch a wash, because as I've said, I'm gonna submerge the vehicle in mud. So let me re-grab the instructions and talk about them a little bit more. So what have I done off camera? Of course, is to assemble eight different sets of return rollers and attach them onto the vehicle. Apart that, on step number 7 we have this small subassembly that it is for the front armor plate, which I'm gonna leave aside for the time being because it has detailed parts and I don't wanna knock them off. So I'm gonna put a mark over here so I know that those parts I'm gonna need to attach them later. And the F31 part, which is the axle for the idler wheel. So why did I left this part off? I am going to explain. I need, of course, to attach this part off over here in this hole, but in this hole there is something that doesn't let the part go all the way in. Let me show you. I have kept the parts in the separate baggie so I won't miss them, because I have cleaned them before I test fitted them. So let me give you an example of what I am talking about. Of course, this one is keyed. One side is square and the other side is round. And as you can see, it does not go all the way in. And I do not like this because I don't know how to position it at the time being. So I'm gonna leave this part off because I am first gonna assemble the rest of the suspension system and finalizing the suspension system with this part, finalizing it, assemble the rest of the suspension, assemble the tracks, and then decide. Then the tracks will help me to attach this part in its proper position. I don't want it to be, too far or too far front or too far rear, because I'm gonna have a problem with the tracks and the general suspension system. So this one is gonna wait a little bit more until it finds its proper position onto the tank. So in the bag it goes again. And now that I've talked about the whole 7th step of the instructions, let me talk about the 8th. So on the 8th step we begin with the road wheels and the suspension system. Now, because I have a lot of footage gathered and it's gonna be a long video, I'm gonna stop working over here at this point, since I have done so much work on the lower hull. I'm gonna call it quits for now, and probably onto the next part we're gonna go with the suspension. So guys, with all that said and done, we have made it to the end of this episode. On our next episode, as I've said 5 minutes ago, we will probably start working on the suspension system of our Panzer I hope you guys find this video helpful and interesting and stick along for the next one. Before I go, I wanna thank each and every one of you guys that watched this video. A special thank you to my old and new subscribers. You guys are the best and you are the reason I keep doing these videos. For the newcomers out there that encounter one of my videos for the first time, welcome guys. I hope that you like what I do. If so, you all know what to do. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts and opinions, share the video if you believe it deserves to be shared, or even consider subscribing for more builds to come your way. Until the next time, fellow modelers and friends, take care and model on. It was that Mofo Damon, signing out.